Yeah, okay. So I'm guessing you've had VOD reviews done through Visor before?
I use Visor myself for reviews, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so the way I typically start one is I ask if there's anything the enemy team or your team was doing that was giving you any particular troubles.
Generally not. Honestly, there's not much specific gameplay I have troubles with anymore. Most things I'm kind of used to by now, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Sometimes team comp, sometimes I've been overcommit, sometimes not been enough. But most of the time, not really, honestly. It's more down to team-based things, like engagements.
Okay. What part do you know anything in particular about the engagements? Like, do you feel like you're not getting any value yourself? Do you feel like your team never engages when you do? Anything like that?
So I'm very vocal, and this bracket, a lot of people actually talk. I take up shot calling whenever I can, so not that big of a deal. Especially today, I'm duking with my one of my friends who's actually a monkey player. Well, he's not a monkey player, but he feels monkey this game. It
Hmm.
works out pretty well. Uh, but I think I still overcommit too much because I'm used to playing season 8 D.Va, where that's just a hyper carry, right? Or
Yeah.
killing after all the damage. Yeah. And I think the biggest problem is sometimes I just commit to things I shouldn't. Well, I say commit, but I mean like more like semi-commit. I get stuck in a twilight zone between committing and not, where I'm too far to disengage, not far enough to actually engage, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you're in the mindset of you're used to being able to hyper carry and just kill anybody you want, but you know you're not able to now, but you're sort of stuck trying to figure out where the breaking point is.
Sometimes a little bit, not always. I do have my moments of actually just knowing when to peel. I
Okay.
tend to prefer playing counter dive on maps that allows it, such as defends Numbani. And the way I like counter dive is I like to split Monkey and D.Va up. People tend to invest both Monkey and D.Va cooldowns to engage with on attacking side, and then I prefer to just have D.Va invest cooldowns to come back and peel, and just Monkey goes in the solo whatever he can, like block Ana healing or block Widow sidelines, whatever.
Yeah. 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 Uh, Diving with both cooldowns is typically the most effective way. So if you can, it seems like you've already figured out how to counter that, but it seems like from what I'm hearing, you're struggling more with doing that yourself? Question mark.
Not so much, honestly. My defense D.Va is better than my attack D.Va, like quite easily. Sometimes I get stuck, and I'm quite unsure of like how to actually proceed. Again, it comes down to where do we dive, who do we dive. I know what I want to do, but I get this feeling that if I go in here just by myself, I'm dead instantly. I just die. Like certain comps, I feel like I can literally just not dive this, and that's the ones where I kind of struggle with knowing where to proceed.
Okay.
What do you think?
Is this one of those? Is this a game where there are situations like that?
One or two, yeah. And there's also a few D.Va bombs that are less than ideal,
Okay.
which
Uh,
is another one of my. I'd say it's not even a problem. It's just I kind of do it to myself. I understand how D.Va work. I understand the concept when they're good, but sometimes they throw bombs. I'm thinking, not sure why. I catch
okay.
myself, and I know when they're bad. You'll see one or two this game.
Okay. So it's like you know when they're bad, but you're not actually able to stop yourself
I
in game.
still, I still just throw them sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
So starting off here, against on a map like this, I feel like it's okay for me to just poke like here, right? Like it's okay to just actually gain info, like especially against Widowmakers, like know when she grapples, know where she is, know when they engage. I don't really feel too threatened here, so I just kind of take damage.
Yeah, the biggest thing for divas when they're engaged like this to get info or to poke or whatever, the biggest problem I see with diva players is that they waste their defense matrix to eat up just little bits of poke. Like you do it a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. I'll see divas use up like half their DM or more just on random like Genji spam or like the worst is I've seen it on diva spam, and it's like don't use your DM for menial stuff like that because when it comes time to actually eat something important like a Widow Shot or a Pharaoh Rocket or Hanzo Storm Arrow or whatever, you won't have the DM resources to actually do it.
Yeah, so I do have a bit of party system when it comes to DM, but I also have a reflex, which is basically space out my damage intake. For the spot sake, if I'm low HP, I would just space out burst damage to actually be healed up, you know?
Yeah,
It's the same principle as Zarya bubbles, where you don't want to bubble with full HP Reinhardt, you want to bubble him like half HP. If you get a cleanse, well, perfect, but just to give you healer space to actually heal you up.
yeah. Like if you're using, you've already got the concept down. You don't want to waste your DM, and because a you want that for something more important, but also B, you need to make sure that your healers can actually take advantage of that. Like right now, you're not wasting DM to get healed up. You're using cover, which is great.
And I'm using Silent instead, yeah.
Yeah, you're playing the actual map, and you're not relying on your hero in specific to do that for you. You honestly could have stayed in there longer probably and picked the baby D.Va and then boosted out, especially because it looks like, yeah, Monkey dived out of there. You probably could have stayed. That's one where, if we watch it back, she's low. You didn't need. You got hit with
so? The entire team is there. I'm half HP, and if I chase the baby D.Va there, I'm out of Silent of mana. Who's up top right there?
If you didn't if you boosted in a little bit, but didn't basically, this boils down to, I don't think you needed to commit as hard as you did when you did. You can still sit here and poke at her. Look at how low she is. You instead decide to commit your booster and your rockets to that, which you could have done when she was in baby D.Va mode and then gotten out of there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like this is an easy DMAC. Like I think I'm gonna DMAC anyway instead of committing. You're right, but it's one thing that I wanted to secure this. And I think it's okay to kill the baby here anyway, right? Because she's in baby.
She's in baby. Anyway. She's in baby, but you guys still have a monkey, and you still have you. For her to get her mech back up, demeching a D.Va is huge. But the thing is that if you demech her and you just leave her for an extended period of time, then she'll remech, and then she's out of her mech, yes, but she's not completely out of the fight. And if she's demeched, your team can easily forget about her. Or like if I'm playing Widow and I can't hit her for whatever reason, she's strafing me like a madman, and I can't secure her, then that sucks because she can remech and then we all have to deal with the D.Va mech again. But with you and your burst, you can kill a baby D.Va really quickly.
Easily, yeah. So I do generally I also call target slot. I do call baby D.Va as a target because, especially on second points, it's an important kill to get because remeching is going to be costly for you guys. But
yeah,
I think that if it had been a different mode or just even an attack, I probably would have committed more, but since it's defense, I don't really feel the need to actually overcommit and risk losing mech here, because ultimately I prefer playing a bit safer on defense.
Yeah, and I'm saying that you could have played safe, but it's just you engaged. Let me put it this way. I think you engaged a little bit too early. You could have done the exact same thing, but after she was demeched, and then you would have demeched the D.Va and killed the D.Va, which would have slowed down their dive a ton because they'd only have monkey to initiate. Which, for some teams that are super double dive reliant, like D.Va and Winston, if they don't have their D.Va, they're not even going to dive, and that's basically stalling them for like 10 plus seconds while they wait, or longer, or if they engage without their D.Va and they lose the fight, that's huge. So basically, your slight decision to go in a little bit early, if you guys had lost this fight, could have been traced to you going in early and not killing the baby D.Va instead of the D.Va.
Yeah.
It's a minor thing, but if you were in like Diamond or whatever, there'd be much bigger problems. But since we're talking about micro plays for the most part, the little ones that we fight over are the really important. Like, see, notice how Monkey's just chilling here. He doesn't have his D.Va mech to go with, but she could have remeched if you'd stayed in the point, or if she spammed enough to pick or to poke at your team. She could have remeched, and then they could have still engaged.
Yeah. But yeah, Monkey's here. Yeah. And kind of staggered himself quite a bit.
Yeah. Like at that point, you're doing well. Just like.
I mean, I never saw him die. Last I saw him was on the stairs, so I figured like he might be there waiting.
Yeah.
And he was.
Like he's not gonna be waiting down here just because. So there's only a few spots he'd be waiting. Checking up there, solid. D.Vas a lot of the time will just patrol choke or like patrol point, and that's a terrible way to play because you're not making use of any D.Va's kit. You can basically be anywhere in the map you want to be on a few second cooldown, and that's huge. And the fact that you're making use of that to kill that monkey is great, but the incorporation of when and where and why to use your abilities is like it's more situational. Like you've got the fundamentals down, which I'd hope so, but now it's just the application of those fundamentals.
Yeah. Again, I'm just kind of scouting Widow, and I feel like I'm not too scared of taking damage because feeding like Infrasight is not the biggest deal in the world anyway.
Yeah.
This is what I mean, right? Like they invest both cooldowns into diving our Ana up here, whereas our monkey just ghosts on their Ana instead.
Yeah, Black Shadow, thanks for the follow, dude. But when you've got a double dive like this, you're in a duo with your monkey in this case. So you can talk to him and be like, hey man, what's the deal? You can see him standing up with you, like he was right up over here, if I remember right. and you're chilling right here, backing away because you're trying to scout Widow, but that makes your healers and whoever's up here really vulnerable to a dive. Like what happens here, if you're able to peel for them faster, because right now you're playing a more reactionary thing, so it's like you're having to react to their dive. If you could have pressured them off like mid dive or done something like last round of demeching the D.Va to prevent this in the first place, that's huge. It's like if you can play a preventative playstyle rather than a reactionary, it's sort of like the Faravod last time where it's like you can react to something, but if you can play the position and the engagement in general to favor yourself from the very beginning, then you don't have to react as much because you're in control of it. I don't know if that makes sense here, but
I feel pretty okay with it just because it's an Ana and a Lucia up there. Like I feel like they're pretty safe, especially since Lucia's up there with her. So this is just pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
you wanna? What were you gonna say?
So again, this is just bad DM uses, right? Like what happens is I hold my DM the entire time. He just waits it out because he knows I don't have any left.
Yep.
I'm generally okay with trading bomb for high noons if it body blocks the other shots as well. But I didn't have to here.
Yeah, you could have just. Yeah, you didn't need to invest bomb there at all. You could have DM'd it better. You're already aware of that. But also, if we watch this back, right? A, he just saw you DMing. B, he knows you're gonna try and DM him. Duh. If this McCree just lets loose his high noon right off the bat, he's a garbage McCree. I don't know how he got here, but what you could do is you could bomb first, potentially, to save yourself.
I considered that actually, yeah. Not now, but watching it back, I did consider it.
Yeah. And there's like a branching path there, right? You can go for the bomb route, or you can go for the DM route. But in this case, you went with both, and by going with both, you're in a middle compromise ground where neither one works out, but you get the disadvantages of both. You get demech, you lose your ult, whatever.
My concern with bombing, if I just throw a bomb here, I'm dead to the high noon, right?
Yeah.
100%, I died to it. So in that case, I could have boosted in here and bombed right away, which means he doesn't have the reaction time, and I can just use the jump to land up top on the bridge, and that probably would have been the best play.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is you basically send the bomb to cancel his high noon, but still eject yourself in a spot to where you're not sacrificing yourself. Because if you throw out bomb to cancel his high noon and sacrifice yourself to it anyway, that's trading you on defense for a high noon McCree on offense, which is a much worse trade for your team than it is for theirs.
Absolutely, yeah. He gets so lucky. I mean, the thing is, I don't think you should die like that. By the way, I don't think it's worth it for you to die like that. Like. I can always contest the Widow.
I thought someone was with me there.
I don't know if I missed it by skipping 4, but which death are you guys debating about here? Like,
do I have a stand here? That's it out. Don't play it again. I think it's worth it for you to die like that. Like, I can always contest the Widow.
I thought someone.
I don't actually know.
It seems like you're arguing with your duo about contesting the Widow and dying to her or something.
So a lot of this shit being said between two of us is basically wrong. Like watching it back, like it's just in the moment things. So actually just not correct at all.
Okay. So
almost all of it. They primal rage, yeah. Please closer.
Can see.
I did dim. Okay, maybe?
You committed your rockets here. I think at an iffy time, you're breaking bubble, but breaking bubble isn't that important. Like, it breaks right now, and you're just, like, kind of putting it into D.Va. I think you should use your rockets. If you're watching last VOD, there's a concept of using abilities frequently is good, so long as you still land them when they actually count, which I don't think you should use rockets never and only use it when they matter. I think you should use rockets when they matter, but also to, like, break stuff or whatever. But at this point, now that you've used it to just kind of poke down at their D.Va, you're not able to go in on a commit. If you want to go for, like, this McCree, for example, wherever he's at, you're not going to have rockets depending on how long it takes. You're 8 seconds down for rockets, and that means you're kind of stuck, and they know that. Like, now that you've used rockets, you're not much of a threat to them. You're sort of just a DM bot at this point, or, like, a boot bot with your boosters, so you're by using your rockets there, you're limiting yourself in the future, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Yeah, true. The reason for my rockets here is the fact that I'm holding DM, which means I can't shoot, and if I have a monkey is stuck in the middle of the entire team. So I'm DMing and at the same time to break the bubble so Anna can heal him.
Is your Anna even out? Where's she at?
I think she's just on point. You see her? No, she's up top
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, she's top, so she might not even have line of sight to him because he goes this way. So you know, you're
Maybe,
right.
yeah.
You're right. I'm right. In this situation, we don't necessarily know. Like in game, you wouldn't necessarily know, but in general, I would say use your missiles to, you know, to get value, but also not to limit yourself, especially because you're in the front line and your monkey's super low. He does get out. Did you look back to keep DMing him?
I think I want to just disengage here. I'd rather
Okay.
just get a bit of space for a bubble maybe.
Okay.
Oh, that was so unlucky.
See now you couldn't dive her with your missiles. If that like you can use it
Yeah.
now, but
I'm blocking Anna, buddy.
you notice how if you had missiles when you jumped her, you could have been slept and you could have had missiles canceled, but you would have still bullied her back harder. So you could have gotten more value out of that engagement. Now you're just sitting here sleeping.
Yeah, that's true for sure.
Even on cooldowns.
So yeah, this is terrible. This is just feeding. So a monkey is ulting half HP D.Va into corner. While they're on point, there's no point me being there. I shouldn't chase monkey. I should go back and help my supports.
Yep.
That's just on the vision.
Yeah, don't tunnel vision people. If it's one of those things where, as D.Va, you have the ability to be almost anywhere at almost any time, but you need to make sure that you're not letting that dominate your playstyle. You can like there's D.Vas that there's basically two or I think there's three main playstyles of D.Va, and they revolve around like different parts of her kit. There's the DM D.Va that only DMs and does pretty much nothing else. There's the aggro D.Va that boosts around and sort of like your playstyle. You're sort of a hybrid, as you should be, but there's the D.Va that just boosts and missiles people and that's it. And then there's the D.Va that just sits on point and does absolutely nothing. Thankfully, you're not that one. That's good. But you should sort of be a mixture of all three, in my opinion. You should be able to peel for the point and peel away at equal effectiveness levels, I guess. Chasing the D.Va down isn't the best use of your time, as you said.
Yep.
Your best use would be to be back here on point and help out your team. But if you're back here helping with your team first, the reason you'd want to go peel to kill somebody is if there's somebody in your back line who's still sort of on point, like say they're back here or back here, whatever. If you go save them off of point, that's cool, but you don't want to be totally off of it like you were back here.
Yeah, for sure. I left.
Oh, I'm here.
See, this is an example of they haven't killed you yet, and you might get mech back because they didn't commit to
Yeah.
killing you. This is exactly what I was worried would happen to your team with the enemy D.Va last point.
I'll play closer, I think. Dim's coming in here.
Yeah, they're like, oh, D.Va's D-mech. She can't do anything. It's like, well, you're gonna get mech back, or you can like you're still present with your team.
Yeah.
They didn't really like.
Honestly,
They also didn't capitalize on it very hard.
They throw shield down like here, right? And it means Anna can heal.
This is gonna go for you.
They have tank walls, I think. There. This is another like pretty big mistake actually. Not now, but it comes in a second, I think.
I was gonna say one of your biggest mistakes here, I think, is DMing this long. Notice how long you DM'd. Notice how little you have. Notice how you poke it up again real quick here. You do it on a Doomfist, or you can say Doomfist or the team. Regardless, this is a time where you're all close together. If people do take damage, your Ana can just nade you and then heal you all off and anti the enemy team at the same time. And now you're pretty much completely out of DM. So you've committed a lot of your resource of DM to not a lot of value. And if it gets to the point where the fight breaks out and you need more DM, you're not going to have it.
Yeah. So
There's
okay, so I was gonna bomb there, but I was afraid if I ejected there, I died to their D.Va bomb, right?
yeah.
And but DM again, it's a reflex thing. I wasted much at the start, but I think I still like DMing Doom's uppercuts because the most squishy is the reason they live, right? Even
Yeah.
on tanks, like hits a lot of damage on monkeys. I think I'm okay with investing some DM into that. But
File MP, thanks for the follow and the sub. I appreciate it, dude. But when you're investing like DM and bomb and stuff, it seems like right here it's like you were planning on bombing, but then you're like, oh, I can't do it because of the D.Va bomb, and it's like now you're getting high nooned. You had a plan, and it's good to have a plan, but then as soon as you deviated from your plan B is sort of half formed, and you're like, oh, like you had a plan, but you weren't able to capitalize on it because you committed too much to the other one, if that makes sense. You committed a lot to your bomb plan with your DM and your boosters and your rockets, but now that you don't end up bombing, you're going to end up either having to bomb to force them off and save yourself, or just die because you've made that mistake.
I can't touch.
So I think my second option here was kind of fine if you go back a little bit, because this is one of those times where I can actually bomb his high noon. The problem is their monkey outplays me really hard. Like I just want to bomb here, right? And the reason our Brig dies, you see where our Brig is dead, like top right corner. That's because she's asleep, and I tried to body block the shot on her with my mech, right?
Was she asleep on bridge?
Yeah.
Oh god, dude.
So she dies to the high noon because of it. Yeah. The reason it dies is because their monkey ults and boops my mech out of the way. As you can see, I lose mech to it, and then also my mech goes in the worst spot for the ult. So,
yeah, I was like, if you got it right at the junction of these 4 points, you would have been in a lot better spot. But
that was exactly the point. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that get booped, and I was gonna say like, the reason I paused it when I did is because you were in the air right here being booped by monkey, and I was like, this is the point where your plan deviated about here, and then monkey boops you, and then you're having to act on your plan B, but because of a lot of different factors, your plan B ends up not working. The point of having a plan A and a plan B is that plan A hopefully works and hopefully is great, but if you have to go to plan B, it still integrates off of what you would have commit for plan A. Like say you want to dive and you commit boosters for your plan A, your plan B then cannot involve boosting to launch your ult somewhere, because if you get to plan B, you already went through that part of plan A.
Yeah, well, my plan B kind of formed itself as I saw the high noon. It's invest that cooldown, which was just to body block it and actually invest ult there.
Yeah.
But yeah, monkey booped it, and that's my plan B gone as well.
I can't touch.
I can touch in a second, maybe.
I'm on it, but monkey's on me.
I can touch in a second.
How fast were you demech there? Jesus, you're already half when you remech.
Monkey's on me.
It's a nano boosted McCree. You can free headshot.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I kind of like.
Let's see. So, okay, you've got an interesting comp now.
Oh, that Brig is a Brig one trick, and
nice.
Well, looking back at the VOD, this game was very much a 5v6 half of the game. He does some interesting shit.
Like what? I haven't been really paying attention to him much.
You know this front arch here? Where Widows your seats, yeah? Well, if you're defending, and you just win a fight, do you as Brig go out there to their spawn and die to Doomfist? This guy does.
Oh my god, dude. What a legend. Was he like plat last season or something?
No, he's got a power profile.
Oh, okay. Probably was though. I don't like to rank shame Brig 1 tricks, but I also like to rank shame Brig 1 tricks, so
yeah. I kind of misunderstand him actually. Like also the D.Va knew. So the plan here was the nade plan. Well, he 3 nades, right? And I misunderstand like his call of when to actually dive. I don't think it would have mattered because the D.Va knew anyway.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You might have still been able to pull it off if you actually waited for his nade to land.
Yeah, possible. But look at the D.Va though, by the way.
Yeah, I see where she's coming from, but if like the nade's gonna land right about here, D.Va probably wasn't gonna DM the nade.
No. Look in a second. You'll see.
What am I?
She looks upwards.
I mean, when you queue into ML7, you know as a D.Va player to eat every nade.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious, but at the same time, you can play it 2 ways, right? This is the third way that I don't suggest. There's the play where you go in assuming the nade's gonna land, you dive, you do whatever you're gonna do. Option 2 is you plan on the fact that she's gonna know because ML7 is super predictable that way, and you wait for her to eat it, and then you try and punish her like as she's going to DM it. Or there's this option, which is misunderstand the total game plan and then just kind of go for a standard typical dive in.
Very unlucky that one.
Yeah, there was a lot that went wrong. There was not a lot that went right there.
I feel like I'm alone there.
I mean, the D.Va threw at least.
Yeah, at least D.Va's feeding. You've got that for you.
So I have a plan here. I have a plan. I want to dive. I want to go up there because they have no D.Va. This is a good opportunity.
Mhm.
But I know that there's people in that room and our brig is walking into it. So I pull off my own plan to try and save my brig, which in hindsight is a mistake because it puts me in a really bad position. I mean, he lives. It's just I don't get a good dive off it because I pull off here instead.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that if you're going in to save your brig, I would just go in this way, because if there's people going to kill your brig and you come in from their backline, then that's gonna force them either off your brig and onto you, or if they're still on your brig, then you can just kill them because you're behind them.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you could, like basically go in their flag, go into this corner so that the Orisa can't kill you, and then you should be safe, and brig should be
Honestly,
safe.
I don't think I was even thinking that far. I had my plan and then I adjusted like on the fly because the brig was there. So I
Yeah.
mean, in hindsight, yeah, probably absolutely the best idea.
This is another case of, this is exactly what the enemy team would have to deal with. Pretend this is your brig, pretend you're the team behind, and pretend you're whoever's killing your brig. You're now in a bad spot. I'm amazed you didn't die there. You totally should have. I think this is a huge misplay. Like, you fly in without, like, you can
I think
see it.
a monkey's there. Is he? So why don't die?
I
don't
don't
know why I don't die.
I don't know why you don't die. Like, right? You should have died for sure. Your monkey's
No,
in
look
there
at our
now.
monkeys. Look at our monkeys. That's why I don't die.
Your
Like,
monkey's
he's
in
right in the
there.
back. They're shooting him.
He's in
Like,
there
he's
now.
way in the back. Yeah, look where he is.
Right.
He's not here. What is a monkey now? Actually, I don't know.
He dives in like as you're in here, so
I think so. Does he? Yeah.
he has to, cause like
Whoever's there, you alone, brig.
right here, nobody's over here. He has to dive in after you're already in. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's him or
I don't actually know where he is.
I don't know, man.
I just know where he is afterwards. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
you-
should have died. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
you totally should have died. Yeah, your monkey just teleports in. He just shows up there.
Yeah,
I
now
guess.
he's there. Look, now he's
Yeah.
there.
He wasn't there before though, and I didn't hear him jump. So
And this is a matter of miscommunication. Like, a monkey's in, and then he leaves.
yeah, I think
And-
you hard overcommit to this, even without communication. Like, one of the reasons I don't like people sending in VODs of like 6 stacks is they've got a lot of communication that they're relying on. In this case, you're in a duo, which duos are I'm normally fine with, but since you're in a duo with your dive partner, it places a lot more emphasis on your communication, which is more of a you thing and a them thing. There's not a whole lot I can tell you about that other than communicate
for sure.
properly. But
I don't think we communicate too much. I mean, I do a little bit, yeah, for sure.
assuming that this monkey isn't a duo, like if we pretend he's not a duo and he's just a random dude you queued into, this would have been a huge misplay on your part because you way overcommit. He's antied right now. He's the only one who's in. His bubble's about to break, and you're using boosters and your DM and soon your rockets, and you're using everything for this dive. And like, notice how you have to go all the way to the back. All of your rocket cooldown, you got pretty much that
Yeah.
on your target, which, leaves you totally out in the open. You've got no DM, you've got nothing to get out with. That's an example of your
So-
plan A totally not working.
Yeah, my rocket usage is actually pretty bad because it's just a very bad habit of picking up of just, not always, but when I intend to dive, I just kind of automatically use them as
Yeah.
a booster.
A lot of
it's-
divas do.
It's partially because it has a wind up, and partially just because it's a bad habit.
Yeah, the wind up is a bad habit, or the using it while you're boosting is a bad habit. It's a good tactic, but it's a bad habit. In this case, I think boosting to close the distance isn't a bad thing because you're sort of just saying like, whatever D.Va, I'm going to the back line. But once you get there, because of your bad habit of using boosters or using rockets while you're boosting, you get there and you have nothing to do. You can't even DM your way out of it. So that was just like, that was the culmination
Yeah, I
of
agree.
everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not dead.
Okay, roll.
Nice. We stunned that. Lucia. Like, where's D.Va. Now we kill D.Va.
Yeah, we do. Genji's the upper line. He has blade.
I'm reloading. Get this tag on. I'm gonna
Please
heal you
Spain.
up now.
And then Mercury engaged again for some reason.
Kill the rest there.
There's another example of you boosting and using rockets when you didn't totally need to because McCree's really low, but
Yeah.
you've won the fight.
Literally just a bad habit, yeah.
Yeah, that's one where it's not going to end up mattering. Like, you're not going to lose point because of that rocket, but
Flash point.
you
USB.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you haven't just like started off a point by throwing in D.Va Bomb. The fact I haven't seen one of those yet makes me really happy.
Okay, well, I mean, just you wait.
Oh.
So don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Are
it.
you gonna? Don't tell me.
It's probably worse than just doing that, actually.
Please no.
It might be.
Wait, don't go.
Oh no, it's not here. It's not here. It's not here.
Okay, good.
Get it sleeping behind. Build again.
There's the ultimate example of the booster rocket habit.
Yeah, luckily I managed
Luckily
to salvage it.
luckily you managed to miss every single thing on the Genji, so he stays sleeping.
3, 2, 1.
No. I aimed it up.
Go now.
I've already hitting him, but deliberately.
Sleeping behind.
I know, but like I was gonna say, if you weren't rocketing,
yeah.
then you wouldn't have had to do that.
That is true.
That's what I meant by
for
like,
sure. No, it's a bad habit. 100%. It's something you want to work on.
yeah. It worked out for you because at least you're used to your bad habit.
Yeah. So I fucked up.
Oh,
Like the melee should have killed her, but I turned on too fast. So just a mistake.
yeah. Micro mechanics, bad habits, all of it. Like,
Ana left inside.
I do it again, by the way.
yeah, you melee
melee
too
missed.
early.
Baby.
Did it
Yep.
miss or did you do it too early? You just did it too early.
I think it's early. No, I think I missed.
Did you do it too late or too early? It's like you melee when you're
Might have been
inside
too
of
late.
her.
Ana left.
Might
Yeah,
have been too late.
because right. Yeah, by the time you melee, you're hitting the Doomfist rather than the Ana.
Yeah.
Doom left. D.Va.
If you want to like fly through her, you can do the type of just like if you played
180.
Tracer, you just 180 melee. So I don't know if you want to put some time into that. I don't know how frequently.
My 180s are very clean now. Bottom play chaser.
Let's play a little more.
Okay.
So I sometimes distract people.
That's fine, but like if is your meleeing being too early or too late a consistent problem or just this game?
No, it's just something that happened twice in one game.
Okay. Let's see.
So again, we have a plan, which is Nathan and then engage, which doesn't work out. And I invest in this plan, and there's no plan B, and it sends to a shit show. You'll see.
I'm ready for it.
Doom. Monkey's on, you guys know. Doom's in.
I'm asleep.
Okay, yes, Monkey's as well. You go, maybe?
Kilo.
Brick is dead again, by the way.
Yeah, instantly.
What happened? What happened to the plan? Monkey's low? Yeah, the plan just gone, and I was like, what am I doing?
Like watching this back, it literally looks like a 1v6.
Doom's in.
I'm asleep.
Okay, yes, Monkey's as well. Yeah, I'm really confused because like my entire team's right up there, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like I think your widow calls that she gets slept.
Monkey's on, you guys know. Yeah.
Like
I'm asleep.
first of all, I don't know how. Like I don't even want to know how. Like
Okay, yes, Monkey's as well.
second of all, there's Brig doing Brig things and feeding. Like then you get flashbanged out of your. Oh,
Missiles. Yeah.
I would have gone for the Ana instead of the McCree just because they can both stun you, and cancel your
I
booster
mean, Yana can't, because
with sleep if she. Well, she slept your dude.
it's on
So,
cooldown. It's
but I don't know if you were aware that like. Did you hear the call out and were you like, okay, she doesn't have
when
sleep?
I'm sleeping, then yeah, she doesn't have sleep. Yeah, that's
You
I'm
should-
very aware of that.
Yeah, you should have acted on that call out, known she didn't have sleep, and then go in on her rather than going in on the McCree.
Yeah, the benefit of focusing Ana also makes it easy to eat grenades.
Yeah.
I really want this D.Va dead, but like I really want this D.Va dead.
Yeah, almost like too hard.
Yeah. Okay, I have mech back.
How long do you
Oh,
have
mech
it
is gone
for?
again. No, it's gone again.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say.
D.Va still has hers though, so we get her, I think. There you go.
Well, D.Va still has hers because like all of her healers are still alive consistently. You almost got the remake off. That would have been nutty if you got that many remakes off in that fight.
This fight was a shit show. I have no idea.
That was all over the
Honestly,
place.
at that point, what I should be doing
You can contact that for us. They're gonna dive you.
is I should understand the base of the team comp and know what target shoot at, but I just kind of shoot at whatever I can at that point. It's like,
Yeah, with your booster rocket habit, you boost a rocket towards somebody, and then whoever you hit with your, it's like with the new Torb rework. It's like whoever you hit first, it's like that's who you're going for. Like, and then until they die, then you're not gonna move on to another person, even
Yeah.
if
No,
you hit the
it's-
wrong person initially. Like, it's good to have persistence and it's good to finish kills, but you don't want to let that dictate your entire playstyle. It's like right here, like you hit the monkey and it's like that's who you're going for. Monkey is your target now, and it just kind of stays that way.
I think I was more focused on block and healing and widow shots.
I mean, yeah, but during this fight too, it's like healing, blocking widow shots. You could be shooting at Lucio. You go for the
yeah,
D.Va here.
I think my thought process that they're beat it anyway. I don't want to commit to the Lucio, but maybe right, yeah.
I mean, I don't think you hardcore misplayed there. I just think there's a different option you could have gone for.
Oh, look at that break, by the way.
Oh my god, why?
Yep.
When did she die? How did she die?
She died after we won the fight. She goes into a spawn, dies to the two.
No, because like, for you to win like you won the fight a long time ago, and she was how long was she back there?
Yeah.
So she's here now, and then you go. Oh my god, dude.
Yep.
She's like trying to play Reddit Lucio, but playing Brig. What it? Oh my god, dude. Are they in comms too? I haven't heard them say anything.
Yes.
I don't think.
No, they don't speak, but they aren't voiced yet. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm here with you, Widow.
Huge feed.
Oh, you're sick, dude. So that Widow, their Widow swapped the Widow to Genji because our Widow kept killing him, and the second he swaps, leaves spawn, so Widow just kills him again.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
It's a clean pick. It's a clean capitalization. Solid. Now you're down Brig. They're down Genji. You've made it even now.
Yeah, and our Lucio's attacking Brig anyway, so we should be pretty safe.
That guy can't do anything.
Is that your duo like throwing shade at the Brig, saying that guy can't do anything?
I didn't notice. Is it? Probably.
Probably.
Okay, I'll cut off you with Anna when they're done.
They have monkey ult or something?
What the fuck? Don't chase too much. We can equip.
The D.Va fucked up her boosters.
Did she fuck him up or did you just knock her off?
Don't chase too much. We can equip.
Did she? I think she fucked him up. Or did I actually knock him?
I don't know.
I think it's very hard to knock a booster in D.Va.
Don't chase too much. We can equip.
No, I think
don't-
she just stopped.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Do one.
There's the bomb on the point. Interesting. I mean, you guys
Not
won,
needed.
so
Yeah. I mean.
you can say that you won because you killed the Lucio, but
Oh, look at this man. Look at this perfect stagger. Hey, nope, Brig kills her.
oh my god, dude, this Brig,
They're gonna have them.
what a god.
And that's our Widow overextending.
Oh,
I mean, I think she was trying to go for the same thing of like they're coming out of spawn. She's going for the cheeky pick. If you could have gone up there to like, I don't know how she died to Anna. She should have dropped it before she died, but
I think she was only hit by one shot of Diana, and
was she
this
low?
is their tanks.
you're gonna be alone if you die.
I think both the tanks were there.
Huh.
I think that's why she died.
They can't. They can't. They can't.
So the way I play here is basically just because my Anna tells me he's playing in this corner, right?
Yeah.
And if they had to invest without the monkey, which they basically can't, like they just die if they walk into this corner.
Yeah. It's like this is the example of you're playing point D.Va and you're leaving when necessary. That's why you think your defense is better than your offense. It's because you're better at incorporating those three playstyles into a playstyle that works for you. Playing offense D.Va, you don't have a stable spot to work from as home base, which is like point or the high ground. So
Yeah.
it seems like you're more lost, you know?
Yeah.
Because like fundamentally, it's still sort of the same. It's not a whole lot different how you should be playing, but it seems like it's enough to throw you off. Because like on offense, there's more emphasis on your plan A working. On defense, your plan A and plan B can both have an equal chance of working, and it'll still work out okay for you if one does. If your plan B works on offense, it's a lot less value than your plan A. I don't know if that's a cause or not a cause. If that's a side effect of your plan A being too like commitment requiring or whatever. This is another fight that kind of seems all over the place.
So we're still pushed that far up. They beat and I don't play at the same time and monkey ult. Like I have no idea what I'm supposed to shoot at.
Yeah, just shoot at something at that point. Like there's
That's what I was doing. I was just shooting at something.
there's so much there. Like they throw D.Va bomb and Doofus. Oh my god, dude, they really want this point.
This was 6 ults. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a lot you can do. to win a fight like that. You maybe could have thrown out bomb to force them off.
Yeah.
Not likely though. You held for so long anyway. I think it's okay.
Yeah, and that's what I prefer just having ultimate like available for the 30-second point people. So if they have nothing.
Yeah, they have nothing.
So it's like a maybe against basically a surefire thing. Not a surefire thing, but
Yeah, you're going with the better safe than sorry tactic, which I definitely
Yeah.
don't see a problem in. Like, you could have, like, it's one of those things where you could have maybe saved point to end the game there, but if you didn't save point, this point then would have maybe been lost, and the game would have
That
been
much
in a
harder.
much worse spot. Yeah.
Broken?
so I play 2 defense here, I think, especially because they get beat again.
Oh, I just...
Yeah, they do. They get beat real fast, and I think it's because nobody's
Yeah.
really securing kills. You're putting in a bunch
Yeah,
of
they're
damage and a
just
bunch of rockets.
Trash
in-
damage. Yeah.
Yeah, tons of trash damage. You're not
Absolutely.
forcing Lucio off of anything. You're not forcing their Ana away from anything. That's the only time you force people away, and it was with your ult, and then they're all back.
Yeah.
So
No, absolutely, I agree. That was way too passive, and it was just trash damage.
Oh, no.
like even now, like you're trying to remech, but it's still sort of trash damage. Trash damage remeching is less of a big deal, but if you can hit this Lucio, go for it. I mean, you end up getting mech back.
And
fine.
that is just a matter of I really feel like I'm more effective just getting mech back via just securing damage on a D.Va rather than hitting maybe 1 or 5 shots on Lucio.
Yeah.
That's just a like a deliberate.
The reason I suggest that is just because I play a lot of Tracer, and there's times where D.Va's remeching, and she'll get mech back off on me because she'll just like line up her crosshair at head level and just 80 strafe, and I'll be 80 strafing, and she'll sometimes win the 80 strafe war, and then she gets a ton of value out of it. Lucio's a bit different though. Let's see, who are we looking at here?
Just get a house.
That's a widow. He's really good.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I have house. Captain speed. Let's take first side. Take top. Put me top right. Put me top right. Yeah.
That's right, brother.
why are they still holding over there? What are they doing?
I don't know, but we just get the Ana top for free.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Brother, whatever.
I guess they just were like, okay, you're gonna get that for free. They're not gonna overcommit to
Never
it.
mind, our brig is dead down there.
Oh, nice.
We can wait here. We can
So this is bad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I dive into entire team with no information whatsoever, and I
Mhm.
get met by Hog, and he's not friendly.
He's not friendly.
So yeah, that's throwing for sure. It's just really bad.
You pulled the brig.
Another one. Nice.
You pulled a your brig and went in when like with absolutely nothing.
Yeah. But team somehow wins is fine, I think. Yeah, we do.
Hog.
I don't know how, man. Honestly, I don't.
Just get a house.
Did who carried?
It's a pretty scrappy game overall, honestly. Like it's a lot of very
Two-
questionable plays.
This whole game is like if you went to like a shady back alley and somebody's like, "Hey kid, you want some Overwatch gameplay?" It's like it's GM gameplay, and you're like, "Yeah, sure." And then they hand you this, and you're like, "What's happening?"
Honestly, this shit has been the last few days for me, like entirely. I've had no good games at all.
He communicates so much.
Like, I feel like this game. I don't know if you win or lose it. I'm hoping you win it.
So I threw. So I committed boosters without knowing where the Hands of Dragon is. Like, yeah, it's just a lucky decision, I
You
think.
do a lot of overcommitting. You do a lot of commits without
Yeah.
information. Like you have a plan A, and even that like relies on information that you're not sure of. Your plan B is then made of the information that you get when you overcommit to your plan A. So like you're always ending up in this weird, like you said, a twilight zone of you had a plan, but you didn't know what the plan was hinging off of. And then once you got the information that your plan hinged off of,
It's like,
you then
oh,
you had to make a new one.
that
Like,
doesn't work. Yeah.
like I can tell you're a
Um,
really fast thinker, and that's a really good trait to have. But the problem is that you're using that as a crutch for when you're fast thinking. Like you're not putting thought into an engagement before it happens. You're doing all of the thinking during the engagement.
Yeah.
If you can
So-
get to the point where you're thinking before, oh my god, dude, you'll go so far. You'll be good.
Honestly, this is just remnants of, again, like I played D.Va a lot on season 7, season 9. That's when I climbed to like my peak, basically, of just playing hyper aggro, like super carry D.Va, and that's what I still kind of do on ladder. I'm way worse on ladder than in scrims.
I
I
think it's
practice shot calling a lot,
Yeah.
and it's a lot more easy to get information in scrims, right? Because your team will tell you stuff.
I mean, it's
and yeah,
also
I'm just
in scrims. The reason I don't think scrim gameplay is also because you rely a lot on your team, and I think ladder. If you're X rank on ladder, you're gonna be a higher rank in scrims. So like if you can get to like 4.4k on ladder, you're gonna be better than a 4.4k on ladder in scrims, just because ladder emphasizes your skills as an individual, both shot calling. Like in this case, I can tell you'd be better in scrims because you don't ever engage with information that you gather yourself. You rely on information that your team may or may not give you. But if you're better at getting your own information and acting on it, then when you're in scrims and you're getting your own information and information from your team, then suddenly you're performing a lot better than you already would have, you know?
yeah, for sure. I mean, here is as simple as just knowing where the dragon is. I
Yeah.
just boosted without. It's just simple. To be fair, McCree kind of dies in an interesting place as well because he's over there.
I mean, that doesn't change the fact that you died to
Oh
dragon.
no,
We
of
shouldn't
course,
have.
of course not.
That fight was like, McCree died, you died.
I mean, we're both throwing. It's better than just me throwing.
Yeah, you're throwing. Your McCree's throwing. Your Brig's throwing the hardest. You know. ML7's throwing now too. You're throwing again. Everybody's throwing.
This was such a misguided attempt at making something happen out of something that wasn't worth it.
This McCree.
I do it again, but I do it again. I mean, it's just.
Like the booster and rockets.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I didn't boost rocket at the same time there. Actually,
You didn't. That's why I watched
no,
it
no,
back.
no,
You did it right as you.
I booster. This is one of those times where I actually just play around the wind up.
Yeah, this is one of those times where watch it. Like you boost it, you rocket right as you're about to round the corner. Like right now, that's
Yeah.
great. However, you don't know what's around this corner. You don't know what you're rocketing into.
I know the maze there. I didn't know the hog was there again.
And the Lucio and the Anna and their
Yeah.
whole team. The
Well-
not friendly hog. Oh. How
Yeah.
low were you? You're 32. That's a little cocky. That's
I
confident.
mean, yeah. I told you I had no. I don't think I was gonna get out, honestly.
No, you were getting out for sure, but you know, it's still. I don't know. You reset the fastest you could there. I guess it works, but I just think it's funny that it's like,
So-
oh, I'll kill the Hanzo.
so here's the bomb, by the way. You'll see.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
So the Hanzo's dead.
I'll go get the drone.
That's Maywall gone.
Oh my god, she's so bad. She's not still.
There's an out hog. We get beat. I'm full HP. Yeah.
Getting rallied.
Oh, you didn't even.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. No.
Oh. I don't
Yeah.
think I need to go in depth on that one.
That's just bad. No, it's terrible. Like that is just, I don't even know why. Like I couldn't even tell you like why now.
Yeah. I think it's just because you had it for a while and you just felt like it. That's my best guess.
Maybe, yeah.
There's another one of those melees. It's the third time now.
I think I went too far with the boosters. I think I just didn't cancel fast enough. I think the melee would have been fine if I hadn't gone like overshot him with the boosters.
There's yet another of your boost rocket combos.
Nice question.
Nice.
Yeah,
here,
that
dude.
happens a lot, and that's just a matter of getting out the habit. It really is. I have been putting some emphasis on it lately.
God, I hate how if I pause it, you get like the weird loading symbol. I want to pause it on the victory screen. God,
We did
something-
it. The journey is complete.
You made it 4-3. Why does it do that? Whatever, I'll just pause it here. Anyway, so that was a doozy of a VOD. 21 and a half minutes. Is there anything I brought up that you want me to clarify more on that I didn't clarify enough on at the time?
I don't think so. No, it's interesting to get some insight, and it's definitely made me think about a few things about my D.Va engagement, especially on attack.
Yeah. Do you want me to do like last VOD I did like the few like main points that they struggle with? Do you want me to type those out real quick now, or do you think you're
Yeah,
good?
you can.
Okay, so we'll
Might as well.
struggle to time out, but your biggest is over committing
Oh yeah.
without enough info. Like that's huge. Just pretty much everything. Like the subsection is that your plan A's and plan B's always end up never quite working out as well as they could have. The second point, like, God, dude, that is your biggest for sure. The second one is just the bad habit of boosting and rocketing. Like,
Absolutely.
at the same time. And then the third one, sort of the same as number one, but it's relying too much on like your team in general. Sort of like you're used to playing the hyper aggressive carry D.Va, but you're like when you dive in, because you're going in without enough info, you're relying on your team to play perfectly to counteract the fact that you're going in without a solid game plan. It's a little tricky to explain, but it's like these two are kind of the same, sort of, not quite. There's probably another point, but I totally forgot it. If I do remember it, I'll DM it to you. But this VOD will be up on my Twitch for like a week or something. So if you ever want to watch it back,
I might do. Yeah, I might do.
Other than that, if you don't have any questions, then I think you're free to go.